Here is the thing about sleep deprivation that makes it uniquely dangerous. When you are drunk, you know you are impaired. Most people hand over their keys. Sleep deprived people do not do that because their brain is giving them no signal that anything is wrong. After 17 hours awake, which is a completely normal day, your reaction times, decision making, and risk assessment match someone with a blood alcohol level of 0.05. Before we go further, subscribe to Human Decoded. We break down your body every single week, the legal driving limit in most of Europe. At 24 hours, you hit 0.10, above the legal limit everywhere on Earth. But in controlled studies, participants at 24 hours with no sleep rate their own performance as fine, while scoring in the bottom percentile on every objective measure. Your drunk brain knows it is compromised. Your sleep-deprived brain does not. This is not just a tired feeling. Your brain has literally lost the ability to assess its own deterioration. Sleep deprivation starts damaging your brain within the first 16 hours of being awake, and it does not damage everything equally. The first region to show measurable functional decline is your prefrontal cortex. This is the part responsible for rational thought, impulse control, judgment, and the ability to weigh consequences. It is also the part that tells you whether you are making good decisions. So here is the problem. The region that deteriorates first is exactly the region you would need to notice that you are deteriorating. It takes itself offline before you can catch it. At the same time, your brain does something to compensate. It floods your system with adrenaline and cortisol to mask the dysfunction. You feel alert. You feel sharp. You are neither. You are running on stress hormones that are papering over a cognitive collapse. And while the prefrontal cortex goes dark, something else happens. One brain region does the opposite. It does not shut down. It activates. Your amygdala, the brain's primary threat detection and emotional response center, becomes dramatically more reactive after a single night of poor sleep. Under normal conditions, your prefrontal cortex keeps the amygdala in check. It provides rational context. It dampens overreactions. It tells the amygdala this is not actually a crisis. After one night of poor sleep, that connection weakens. The result, your amygdala becomes 60% more reactive to emotionally negative stimuli compared to a rested brain. The same image that barely registers when you are rested produces a disproportionate, exaggerated response when you are sleep deprived. This is not just feeling irritable. It is a measurable shift in how your brain calibrates threat. The sleep deprived brain sees the world as more dangerous, more hostile, and more emotionally charged than it actually is, and it responds accordingly. This is why arguments at 2 a.m. feel catastrophic, why small frustrations become disproportionate, why everything feels harder than it is. It is not you being weak, it is your threat system running without its governor. Here is the part most people do not know. While you are awake, your neurons are constantly generating metabolic waste. One of those waste products is a protein called amyloid beta, the same protein that forms the plaques found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. Your brain has a system for clearing it. It is called the glymphatic system, discovered in 2013. During deep sleep, channels surrounding your blood vessels open up and flood with cerebrospinal fluid. That fluid physically flushes the amyloid beta and other metabolic debris out of your brain and into your bloodstream for disposal. During wakefulness, this system is almost completely inactive. Your brain accumulates waste all day and clears it at night. That is the deal. And every night you do not sleep, the waste that was supposed to be cleared simply stays. It does not disappear on its own. It builds. After a single night of sleep deprivation, measurably more amyloid beta remains in your brain the following morning. The longer the deprivation, the greater the accumulation. Sleep is not rest. It is the only maintenance window your brain has. Miss it, and you are leaving the rubbish out indefinitely. The brain is only part of the story. Within a week of sleeping fewer than 6 hours per night, your blood sugar regulation begins to deteriorate. Insulin sensitivity drops. Your pancreas has to work harder just to keep your blood sugar stable. Researchers studied otherwise healthy young adults sleeping 5 to 6 hours per night for 1 week. Their glucose regulation began to resemble early stage type 2 diabetes. In 1 week, your hunger hormones shift too. Ghrelin, the hunger signal, rises. Leptin, the fullness signal, drops. Cortisol elevates your appetite specifically for high-calorie, high-carbohydrate food. The result is a sustained, neurologically driven increase in caloric intake, not a lack of willpower, a hormonal instruction. And the immune system. People sleeping 6 hours or fewer are more than 4 times as likely to develop a cold when exposed to a rhinovirus compared to people sleeping 7 hours or more. Not slightly more likely, 4 times. Here is what most people believe. You run a sleep deficit all week and pay it back on the weekend. The research says otherwise. A study tracked subjects sleeping 5.6 hours per night for 10 days, then gave them a full recovery weekend of unlimited sleep. Subjective sleepiness returned to normal. They felt fine. Their objective cognitive performance did not recover. Reaction times and attention scores remained impaired a full week after the recovery recovery period. Your brain normalizes to its impaired state. You stop noticing how badly it is functioning because that level of function has become your new baseline. You are performing below your capacity every day, and you have adjusted your expectations downward to match. Chronic short sleep, consistently under 7 hours, produces cumulative neurological, metabolic, and immune damage that does not simply erase itself with a lie-in. The maintenance bill arrives just later than you expected, and by then the damage has already been done. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the only time your brain clears its waste, rebuilds its emotional regulation, and restores the very systems you use to evaluate whether you are okay. The fact that you feel fine on 5 hours is not evidence that 5 hours is enough. It is evidence that your brain has lost the ability to tell the difference. If your body just surprised you, subscribe to Human Decoded. We do this every week.